Walking up to the tape. White flag raised, they're off as they come out of the back straight on their way to the first of 11 flights, and it's Royal Rendezvous on the outside of All for Joy, going on a couple of lengths in front of Damage Portois, who's followed by Gallant John Joe as they face up to the first flight. Royal Rendezvous is the leader, followed by All for Joy, and the pair have stretched away from Damage Portois, and Gallant John Joe is on the outside. And they're being followed by Reserve Tank and a faller, All for Joy down as they race across on the run into the straight to flight number 3. And Royal Rendezvous and Patrick Mullins have built up a huge lead, turning in to the third flight with Reserve Tank second and Damage Portois. Sean Flanagan is okay after his spill. In fourth place is Gallant John Joe, and then Sam's Profile and Eglantine de Soil. On the outside is City Island, brilliant winner of the Ballymore at Cheltenham, and then comes Come to Me with towards the rear Easy Game and Tornado Flower, as Royal Rendezvous is way out in front of Reserve Tank. Then Damage Portois, and in fourth place is Gallant John Joe, who's being followed by City Island, who's moved up into fifth place, 2 lengths to Sam's Profile, who's followed by Eglantine de Soil, and then Tornado Flower, Easy Game, and relegated to be the back marker is Come to Me. Well strung out by this front-running Royal Rendezvous, and skips over clear from Reserve Tank, who won the Mersey Novices in Liverpool. Damage Portois is in third, and then Gallant John Joe and City Island. Eglantine de Soil is followed by Sam's Profile, Tornado Flower, Easy Game, and Come to Me, the back marker. Over the next flight at the top of the track, bringing them downhill towards the halfway stage. Royal Rendezvous and Patrick Mullins maintaining a clear advantage, being followed in second place by Reserve Tank and Robbie Power. Third is Damage Portois and Jack Kennedy, and then Gallant John Joe, Barry Brown. City Island and Derek O'Connor on the outside of Eglantine de Soil and Jonathan Burke. Sam's Profile, Davy Russell is 3 behind Tornado Flower, Paul Townend. Easy Game, Brian Hayes, and Come to Me. At the rear of the field, Danny Mullins as they jump the flight at the halfway stage in this Grade 1 Alanna Holmes Champion Novice Hurdle. Royal Rendezvous' lead has been greatly reduced. It's cut back to about 6 lengths by Reserve Tank. In third is Damage Portois. And then on the outside is Gallant John Joe, racing in company with Eglantine de Soil. And then City Island and Sam's Profile. They race right across from the stands with a little over a mile to go. They've 5 flights left to jump, and Royal Rendezvous now by 4. Damage Portois join Reserve Tank for the second, and Gallant John Joe, Eglantine de Soil is followed by City Island and Sam's Profile, Tornado Flower, Come to Me, an Easy Game away from that flight, taking them on towards the final 3/4 of a mile. 4 to jump in the Alanna Holmes Champion Novice Hurdle, and the field has closed up considerably. Royal Rendezvous in front, followed by Damage Portois and Reserve Tank. Pecking on landing at the back was Tornado Flower. Racing past their point of departure, 3 flights left to jump, and it's Royal Rendezvous with Reserve Tank gone up between horses into a challenging position, and then comes Damage Portois. Just behind him is Gallant John Joe, and then City Island, Eglantine de Soil, Easy Game, Tornado Flower, Sam's Profile, and Come to Me. A blanket would cover them all of a sudden as they jump the third last flight. Reserve Tank leads for the first time in the race. Damage Portois, City Island is on the outside of Gallant John Joe. Then Easy Game, Royal Rendezvous has been pulled up as they come to the second last. Reserve Tank and Damage Portois followed by Gallant John Joe. City Island is next on the outside and is driven firmly to try and close. Eglantine de Soil is next on the inside. Sam's Profile is creeping into it, running the home turn. 1 flight to jump in the Alanna Holmes Champion Novice Hurdle. Off the bend, it's Reserve Tank and Robbie Parr, chased by Sam's Profile on the outside, who's delivering a run as they come down to the final flight. It's Reserve Tank and Sam's Profile on the outside, then Eglantine de Soil. City Island is well beaten over the last. It's Reserve Tank the leader from Sam's Profile. In third place is Eglantine de Soy inside the final 100 yards. Reserve Tank and Robbie Parr from Sam's Profile, who's closing with every stride. Reserve Tank has that left to win. Second is Sam's Profile. In third place is Eglantine de Soy, and then Tornado Flower, Dommage Bourtois and City Island.